And then we'll just get started. At this time, I'd like to introduce Utah State University Vice President and Director of Athletics, Scott Barnes.
Thank you. Another great day to be an Aggie for sure. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our new men's basketball coach. This search was a little bit unique in that thanks to Coach Morrill's early retirement announcement in January, we had well over a couple months to move this process forward. And in doing so, we enlisted collegiate sports associates to help us with the search. Over that period of time, we interviewed several candidates from all over the country and indeed did a thorough national search. What did we want? What were we looking for? Well, first and foremost, I wanted a partner, somebody that shared my vision for what our men's basketball program could be. We certainly have that. Somebody that understands the unique attributes and how to position this program to win a Mountain West championship, to participate in and win NCAA tournament games. Someone that would have conviction for and an understanding on how to graduate our student athletes, continue to graduate our student athletes at the highest level in the Mountain West Conference. As we went through the process and we talked to Tim throughout this, it became very evident that his conviction and confidence, his plan, checked all the boxes that we were looking for. In addition to what I had mentioned, somebody that would connect with the student athletes, develop them, continue to elevate our plan for recruiting, and in the end, put our program in a position for great success. Indeed, when you think about continuity, it becomes a very, very important element. We don't have to look too far, our football program, to see that that's worked very, very well. And yet, if you don't have the right leadership, continuity means very little. In this case, we had the right leadership at the right time. And I, at this point in time, am excited to announce to you our new head men's basketball coach, Tim Duryea.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And always with a new head coach is a new first lady. Angie, come up here.
Welcome.
Angie gets the flowers. Tim gets a contract.
So I can buy flowers. Is this you want there? Okay. Well, first of all, thanks to everybody for coming. I see a lot of really familiar faces, dear friends, and this is really a neat day for me. Really a neat day for my family, and something that I've dreamed about for a long time. And I first want to, before I go any further, I want to introduce. You've met Angie. I also want to introduce my mom, right here. Stand up, Mom. Lavona Duryea. She's down visiting from Texas, and so I made her come be on the big stage. She's not real comfortable with that, but we got to toughen her up a little bit, so I'm glad she's here. Also want to thank my kids. They couldn't be here today. They're school. My twins are in college, and boy, they've been troopers. When you're a coach's wife and a coach's kid, you get put through the grinder a lot of times, and they have really, really been great. So I love them a lot. The next three people I want to thank President Albrecht. I want to thank Scott, obviously. Try not to get emotional here. And I want to thank Coach Morrill. Right there. that's three men that have done amazing things for this university. And someday, hopefully, I can be mentioned in their class, because those three guys have done amazing things. In the 14 years that I've been here, I've seen tremendous progress in a lot of areas, and unbelievable the job they have done. So, Coach, 15 years ago, almost, Angie's, we shook hands. You made me an Aggie. Time flies. Coach, sorry. Coach took me on the ride of my life. Unbelievable. Coach Morrill has 402 wins at Utah State, and I've been lucky and fortunate to be a part of 331 of them, and that's been really a great experience. You know, this is a different kind of press conference. Usually when you take over a new program, you stand up here, you don't know anybody from Adam, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're living, you don't know what street is where, and this is different because, like I said, I see a lot of dear friends over the past 14 years, and unbelievable for me. We you know, time really does fly. I've mentioned my twins who are in college. They were going into kindergarten when we came here, and to think about that is amazing. Angie doesn't look any different from the day that we got here. I've had a couple hairstyle changes in that time, and so that's the only difference that's happened. But you know, 12 years ago, this really, life has happened in the Cache Valley for the Duryea family, and as we go through life, all of us have a lot of things that happen. 12 years ago, we played a really close game against Weber State in the Spectrum, and had a very close win, a great win. The next night, my youngest daughter, Kaylee, was born. You know, she's 12 years old. That's an amazing thing as well. Last May, my dad passed away right here in the Cache Valley, and you know, that's something that obviously is a benchmark in your life. And today, I'm here and I'm honored to be your coach. That's another great event in my life. So life has really happened for the Duryea family. It's all been right here. This is home for us, and we love it here. We've been well accepted. Have some of the most dear friends in this valley that you could ever hope to have. And so on a personal level, I'd love to thank everybody that I've met the last 14 years, and everybody that's made life really, really great here, even outside of basketball. So thank you for that. And obviously, I hope we can continue those relationships as we go. The support here in all the events that I just mentioned has been off the charts. You know, when my dad died last May, unbelievable the outpouring of support that I got from the community. When Coach Morrill announced his retirement, again, I couldn't really believe the support from all over, from the basketball world, from the local community, from boosters. I even had a lady come up to me, Scott, before a game, and she gave me a hug. This is before a late season game, and she said, "I am really rooting for you." And she said, "I put your name in the temple." So if you started hearing voices, that was the plan. That was the plan. How about that? So if you're listening to me today, Temple Lady, thank you. Also, I got so much support from our former players. You know, your players graduate and go on. We've had a lot of players go on and have so much success in their personal lives. A lot of them have played overseas and had tremendous careers. And it was amazing to me the kids that I was hearing from that, you know, had been here and played for us from my first year on. That just tremendous rally of support, and you know, they take great pride in things that they've accomplished here, which they should, because it's been an unbelievable run. You know, for about 12 years here, we had a magic carpet ride. It wasn't even college basketball. It was a magic carpet ride with, you know, 26, 28, 30 wins every year. That's way harder to do than what Coach Morrill and those players made it look like. And you forget, you know, the feelings, and then those guys come back and lend their support to you, and it's amazing. It's amazing the support they gave me. So I'd like to thank all those guys, and you know who you are, for supporting me in this effort, in this endeavor. You know, some people ask me, why have you stayed? You know, I go on the road recruiting, and coaches would say, you know, how long have you been at Utah State? And, you know, I'd give them the number of years, and they just go, golly, I've had to move 5 times in that amount of time, or, you know, I've been to 3 schools or whatever. And, you know, it's an easy answer. Why have I stayed? Because it's a great place. It's a feel-good place. We tell recruits that all the time. Wait till you get here. It's a feel-good place. You don't know how many kids I've had when I'm driving them back to the airport after they visit, and they look at me and go, Coach, you know, you're right when you said it's a feel-good place. It is. It is a feel-good place, Utah State. You know, they love basketball. I would always tell recruits, people here love basketball. There's no better place than the Spectrum when it's right. It's a great place to live, and that's why I've stayed. You know, the people, the relationships. My family was unbelievably happy here. Why would you leave? You're working for a great guy. You're having success. There's no reason to look anywhere else. So those are the reasons that I've stayed. I know it's very rare for somebody to stay 14 years in one spot, especially as an assistant. But that has really deepened my passion for this program, for this university. This is not my alma mater, but this is my university. And I feel really strongly about Utah State. You know, I'm looking forward to putting my own footprint on the program. I think that's something that Coach Morrill would encourage. You know, I've heard him talk about other assistants he's had that have gone on and done different things, and sometimes we'll see their teams play. And I think he takes pride when you go out and you know, take what you've learned from him, but also kind of do your own thing and really establish yourself in college basketball. I think that's very important when you take over a program. Obviously, you know, you want to take a little bit from everybody you've been with, and then you want to put your own stamp on things. And we're really looking forward, you know, to doing that. You'll see some differences as far as you know, some scheduling things and things in the future that we would like to do, and I think our players will be really excited about. So, you know, today's day one, and we're excited to implement a lot of those different things. Excited to make you guys part of it. And, you know, our current players, there's some of them here today. Good to see you guys. I wish the season started tomorrow. You know, we've learned so much the last 2 years about the Mountain West and about the things that you have to do to be competitive in this league. And you know, with Coach Morrill, we were changing things as we went from the first year to the second year, and from the second year, from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, and just learning about how to compete in a different league. We've been in 3 different leagues since my time here, and that's a little bit unusual for a school like this. But I think we're on the right track. I think we're learning what we need to do to be even better. And I know our guys feel like, you know, we tied for 4th after being picked 10th. And I think our guys felt like we left a couple of them out there that we could have been a league champ or contending for the league championship in the last couple weeks. And I hope that drives you guys through the summer, through the off season, as much as it's driving me right now to improve internally and to make next year a year where, you know, experience is the best teacher. And we had some experiences this year that were tough. And hopefully next year we can use that experience and take a couple of those tough nights we had and turn them into the other column and make them wins. And if we do that, I think we're all going to have a very exciting year. So the last thing I'd like to say is just to the students, don't forget how important you are, and don't forget how good you've been in making the Spectrum and Utah State basketball what it is and what it's going to become. And with the league we're in, I see nothing but great times ahead. It's a tough league, but we're making the adjustments, and we're going to be somebody to be reckoned with right away next season. Okay? Thanks a lot. I'll look forward to taking any questions. Yeah, I think the first week or so, it was really eerie for all of us, just kind of digesting the fact that that Coach was going to be retiring. Obviously, at that point, everybody's in the program. Your future is a little bit uncertain, and so I think that lasted a few days. And then after that, I thought our players, as well as the other guys on our staff, did a really good job of just kind of getting back to focusing on the next game, preparing for the next game, for the next practice. And so slowly but surely, kind of the oddity of being in that situation wore off. And I think our guys became accustomed to it. They kind of bonded together and wanted to send Coach Morrill out with a really good group on a really good note. And I think they, got better in a hurry. And, we kind of learned to live with it until the end of the season. So it was kind of business as usual after the first week or 10 days. Then obviously when your season ends, the usual thing you do in college basketball is you go recruit, you get on with, the business of the next season. And that was a little bit delayed because of the situation we were in. So, that's when it gets a little stressful for your family, for everybody involved, because obviously you don't know, what the next step is. You know what you'd like it to be, but you really don't know what it is. And so that all ended late yesterday, and we're all thrilled about that in the Duryea household.
Can I ask one more then? You're in a position that's different than a lot of guys would come in, as you said, because you know what's already here, what's happened. What do you need to do to make next year's basketball team even better than what you have coming back?
Well, my coaching 101 professor would probably give me an F, because in the mythical coaching 101 class, they tell you never to follow the guy. Don't be the guy that follows the guy. And I'm the guy that's following the guys. So I would say that what we need to do next year is we need to be a little grittier. We need to be a little better rebounding the ball, and we need to be a little better as individual defenders. As a team, our defense was about third in the league, which isn't bad, but we felt like we had to do some things at times to kind of put a Band-Aid on things as far as avoiding foul trouble, maybe hiding some guys in some situations. We've got to get past that. We've got to be better individual defenders, and we've got to rebound the ball better than we did this year. And we made great strides from the beginning of the year to the end of the year in rebounding, but we've got to go a lot further.
Piggybacking off of that question, Stu Morrill obviously has a very unique playing style. Will you stick with Stu Morrill's playing style, or will you kind of go your own way?
Our style really, with our team this year, kind of evolved as we went. And, Coach gave us a lot of leeway because we were all learning about the league, to make changes. And I think we're on the right track there. I think we'll continue to go on the right track. I think there's changes coming in college basketball. I think the shot clock is probably going to go down to 30 seconds. It wouldn't surprise me to see that as soon as next season. And so that's naturally going to quicken your pace a little bit. We like to play up-tempo. We tried to play up-tempo at home, especially, all through Coach Morrill's tenure. And we always took pride in we could play any speed. If we had to play a grinded-out game and win, Coach told our guys all the time, hey, we're going to be able to do that. If we can run up and down and win, great. We're going to be able to do that too. I would like to push the pace a little bit, stay on the track that we are, where we're a really good three-point shooting team. We led the league in three-point shooting and in field goal percentage offense because our guys played together, took really good shots, and we had a lot of really unselfish kids on our team. I'd like to continue and even expand, on that format offensively. Thanks a lot. That's Captain Aggie right there for everybody that doesn't know. So I appreciate that. We signed one kid early in the fall, a prep school wing out of Lee Academy in Maine, and we feel like we need one more guard in the spring. Coach Felton and I, Coach Felton up there, we're actually on a red-eye flight tonight that leaves at 1 a.m. to Miami. If anybody wants to come up to the office and send us off, you're more than welcome. But we're going to be on a flight to Miami to get started tomorrow on the recruiting trail for this spring. Staff decisions, kind of a fluid situation right now. There's the other guys on the staff have some things that they're involved with job-wise. And so I would say in the next week or so, that'll all be ironed out. I certainly hope that I can keep the majority of the staff. Obviously, we'll have to hire one new assistant, but maybe in the position where we have to hire more than that. I'd say the next week we'll probably iron that out. I think we're going to look to play in some more, event-type games. Obviously the Gosner Classic has been great to us, great to the Valley as a holiday tournament. We're going to play in the Gosner this year, and then I think next season we'll probably look to get into an event, whether it be Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Hawaii, something like that, and Scott and I will get our heads together and figure out what fits. We've got a couple exciting things, we're working on right now that aren't finalized, so obviously I can't comment. But, maybe look to get out there and play a couple games where, national TV is involved and, the event-type games where great publicity for our players and for our university. So we'll try to go down that path a little bit more. It is not done. We have a couple more home games to get, and then we have at least one more road game to get. So it's scheduling was the question, and it's tough every year in basketball. And a lot of times in June or July, all the desperate people will get together that don't have their schedules filled, and you'll kind of figure it out. But we're going to be aggressive, like I say, and looking to get into some national type situations. But we've got 3 to 4 games to get for next year. Knowing our students, they probably will. I hope it's a good chant, not a bad chant, but it'll probably take them a little time. But the herd in our student section is tremendous and has been a big part of our success. So if they want to come up with a chant, they're more than welcome to do it. Anybody else? Once again, I'd like to reiterate how proud and how honored I am to stand up here and be your coach. And like every good Aggie is supposed to know and say, go Aggies.